Welcome back to SK Hobbies AZ, and I am Stitch. So this episode, we're talking about the body shells for the Enduro and the SCX-10-2 builders kits. And I'm going to show you guys the shells, so stay tuned. All right, so you can see that I have them covered up because I want to disclose one at a time to you. So before I pull this off and show you guys, my wife has given me a lot of tasking on what she wants done. So she wanted, a tan shell, and she wanted, black accents, and she wanted pinstriping, which here's the pinstriping. As you can see, the package still isn't opened up yet. Because of her tasking and everything, I'm going to have to do this later on. It's going to be very time consuming, and I'm excited. I want to get these bad boys out on the trail and finish our test running. So the pinstripe isn't on yet, so you guys stay tuned. I'll put a video out once I get the pinstriping done at a later time. But I'm excited to show you guys these shells. So let's go ahead and we're going to look at the Axial SCX-10-2 builders kit. We're going to look at the body that I chose, which is that 1991 Proline 4Runner body, and the paint scheme that I did. Look at that. All right, so the paint that I used on this isn't like the polycarbonated paint that you would buy for your Lexan bodies like the Tamayas or Traxxas or anything, because they just don't make that color that I've been able to find. I know they do it for the airbrushing. I didn't really want to get an airbrush kit because I'm not an artist. I'm an electrical engineer. You want me to wire up your car? You want me to do electrical stuff? I mean, heck, you want me to wire up your house for electrical or internet? I can do that. But painting, I haven't done it in 10 years on a body. I've always bought pre-painted shells, or it came with my new RC, or I bought a used one that already had it. So this was my first attempt. I did send it to a couple of my buddies, the picture of it, and they were like, oh, that was amazing for not having to paint a body in 10 years. But anyways, getting back to the paint that I used. Talked with a couple of guys, and they told me about the Plastidip paint that you can buy in the aerosol can, and that you can get it in a tan. So I went and looked for that. Couldn't find it in any of my auto stores in that, but the can was expensive. They do have a camo kit that you can buy, and you can buy the individual cans. I didn't want to order it. I wanted it right then and there. And then I found somebody, and it was actually old school, in a forum, on RC Crawler forum, that he talked about using the fabric and vinyl paint that you can get at the auto store. So I went down to my local AutoZone, and I picked up this duplicator color vinyl and fabric paint, which turned out to work really good. They had it in that tan. I put it on there. I did a little test piece from what you cut off, and just to see the flexibility of it, and let it dry. And I bent it and moved it around. I tried scratching it with my finger, and it actually made it up pretty good. So I rolled with that color, and that's what we got right here. We ended up with that. Now I did mask off this black piece, the fender wells, the bumper, which this bumper didn't have it, but I did do the back bumper. You can see, I also, where the license plate goes, I made that, mask that off in black, and it worked pretty good. I even did around where the door handles were that go, the stickers. I masked that off and cut it out to make that black behind it, even though I was putting the stickers on it. So we did all of that, got it all painted up. I even tinted the windows, as you can see right here. What I used the smoke spray for the windows, and for the sunroof, and these back two windows here in this far back window, I did those first, and I moved the window masking, and I put a good coat on those. And then these two windows on each side here, I pulled those off second and then put a coat of that spray, just a little bit lighter of the smoke in there, so you get that contrast. And then the windshield, I didn't do nothing. She wanted me to put a little strip along the top. You know, I didn't want to cut it to make that little strip up there with the smoke, because for one, I ain't done this in 10 years, and I didn't want to put a scratch on there with an X-Acto knife or cut it with scissors and try to put it back down afterwards. So we're just going to leave this like this way, and I'm going to get an actual window decal that's going to go over the top that'll create that little tent up there. For these stickers or the vinyl cutting, these are actually for a real 4Runner. I ordered them off of Amazon, and kind of what she wants me to do is to create, coming up right along the door handles on the bottom, she wants the 3 stripes to go this way and then turn and kind of go up like this over the top and back down the other side and do the same thing. So I've got to work on cutting out a template for that, so I can use that as a guideline, because that's going to be the best bet, is laying it out there, getting her approval on it, and then we'll roll with it that way. Did get the SK Hobbies sticker on the front, and you know, I think it turned out awesome, you know, especially since this was the first one I did after 10 years. And then we're going to move on to what I did for the Enduro. So that turned out pretty good. I didn't do any video of me painting it. It was, in my opinion, was a disaster, but it turned out pretty good. I think that over time, my painting on these shells will probably get better. So let's talk about what I did for the Enduro. So you remember I was talking about in my first couple of videos about it, I bought the Gladiator Jeep body shell. Well, that shell would have looked awesome on here. The only issue is it's narrow. It is super narrow. You're going to have to relocate the electronics, and you have to relocate it to the back. And when I did, I relocated it to the back of, you know, behind, in between the chassis rails. And I was going to have to run extra extension wiring and stuff like that to the ESC, and because the ESC was going to be mounted on the top of that box. And I decided, you know what, I don't like how that's going to add more weight to the rear. I wanted to kind of keep it close to stock with the weight distribution for now. So I went and bought another shell. And what I did is I got the Jeep Commander shell and got it fitted up. It fitted amazing. And I tried something new. So let's go ahead and look at this paint job. So what I did is Tamiya has a paint that is called lame, and it's actually not too lame, but they call it lame, and it adds this little sparkly glitter, like old school. If everybody remembers those, the boats, the paint boating that they had all the sparkles in it, that's what it kind of did. Or the old buggies, like from the Doom buggies back in the day, where they had that sparkly color. So I put that down. It does go on completely clear. And then I backed it in a gunmetal gray. And so that's what I ended up. Masking wise, I didn't have the front bumper because like I told you guys, I went ahead and put on the Vanquish front bumper. So I got that because this didn't come with a bumper. And then I masked off the bed and the rear bumper that I put on it. Now, I'm going to eventually put a rear bumper on this. I just haven't decided how I'm going to do it yet, because I've got to get an attachment for the bumper bracket for the back, because this one doesn't have the holes to put one in. So I'll have to get that down the road. But I did that. Did the same thing for the windows. I did smoke it. I did the back window first and got that super dark as I could, and then removed the window maskings for the side and put a light coat on there and left the windshield clear so you kind of can see through the center. So that's it. Not much else is going to get put onto this. I might put an AZRC Basher sticker. I may look at doing some other decal work on it in the future, but I just I wanted the little sparkly look, and that's what I did. And I used that also on my son's new shelf for his Gen 7. We used that lane coater, backed it in black though, and it turned out amazing. So you guys will probably see that one in our video coming up next for when we take these guys out and crawl. So we're going to be crawling with these two and both Gen 8s and the Gen 7. So we're going to be having all those, and all of them have new shells on it. Including the Gladiator shell, which we mounted on top of my wife's old Gen 7. It doesn't quite fit too good, but you know, I wanted to create some extra light because those international shells are so heavy on the top. I wanted to get a little bit of that weight off of the top, and that was the easiest thing to do, is put one of the lighter Proline bodies on it. So we did that. But other than that, this is what we got, guys. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and bash that bell. I'm Stitch, SK Hobbies AZ, and I'm out.